Do you know, we are always getting ready to live, but are actually never living. So, this sums up the essence of our day to day life. We spend so much time planning out our lives that we never actually live them. When we are little children, we are always in a hurry to become bigger. When we are teenagers, we are in a hurry to stand up on our legs and to get a decent job. And when we get a job, we are always waiting for the weekends to come. So, do we ever really live? Or are we always just getting ready for the next thing? We constantly compare our lives with other people's lives and try to focus what is missing in our lives. We always expect our spouses, our families to make us happy. We expect our jobs to meet our all requirements. We expect that success will solve all our problems. We always think, if only this happens, I will be happy. So till the time we continue to believe that satisfaction comes from external sources, we will never be content. We forget that our contentment can only come from inside. So the jewel of Santosha, the second niyama of Ashtanga Yoga, gives us the key to contentment in life. We start experiencing a sense of contentment when we start opening our hearts with gratitude for what we already have. Until the time we believe that contentment will come from outside, we will always remain disappointed and unfulfilled. And in this session, you shall learn the life transformation insights about the second niyama of Ashtanga Yoga, which is Santosha or contentment or happiness, which can help us develop an emotional calm and balance in our lives. So we shall go very deep into the aspect of Santosha or contentment. So stay with us till the end. And if you have not subscribed till now, kindly press on the subscribe button so that you can remain updated about the following sessions. But before we proceed, kindly allow me to pay my gratitude to my Guru. Om Ram Shri Kanaiyalal Sharmaye Namaha. Om Shri Guruve Namaha. So the second niyama talks about Santosha or contentment. Maharshi Patanjali says in his Yoga Sutras, Santoshad Anuttamaha Sukha Labha. That means from an attitude of contentment or Santosha. Anuttamaha means supreme or unparalleled. And Sukha means joy and happiness or mental comfort that is attained or labha. So our lives have become a rat race, always running towards what we like, whether the object is food or clothes or gadgets or even our self-image. Our minds are always occupied in trying to get the things that we do not have. And in the process, we don't see and appreciate what we already have. Similarly, we are always trying to run away from what we don't like. We consider anything that obstructs our pleasure as bottlenecks, and we put all our energy removing those bottlenecks at any cost. Think of it. When we are so attached with our self-image, our ego consciousness only wants to hear those sweet words of praises about ourselves. We are so eager to continuously keep checking our Facebook for the number of likes we have got to the message that we have just now posted. And if we don't get enough likes, we feel so low and depressed. And if we find anyone commenting negatively on our post, we are filled with anger and hatred because they are obstructions to our self-image, which we want to preserve at any cost. So think of it. Are we not spending huge amounts of our time and energy maneuvering ourselves and manipulating others just to make sure that we get what we like and we avoid what we don't like? In truth, the yogis tell us that all things are neutral. It is our attachment or our aversion to those things that makes them either appealing to us or repulsive to us. So contentment is equated with wisdom. If the senses are controlled strongly enough, they will stop pulling the mind and it will become established in peace. Our need to satisfy our attachments and our preferences, it keeps us from santosha or contentment and makes our life so difficult. Our tendency of seeking what we like and avoiding what we don't like entails a very expensive use of our energy. Oscar Wilde has said that there are only two tragedies in life. One is not getting what one wants, and the other is getting it. It means if you are not getting what you want, you are always anxious and you may end up in frustration and depression. And if you get what you want, it's not the end of your wants. When one want is met, it gives birth to another desire. This fire of desire is never ending. So, satisfying our likes and avoiding our dislikes just keeps us on a roller coaster of life. You know, true freedom and true contentment begins when we start seeing things as they are and not spend so much energy manipulating things according to our preferences. You know, we are responsible for our own disturbances. Not only do we ride the waves of likes and dislikes, we also ride the waves of emotional disturbances. Think of it. How often you feel hurt or upset, or you feel let down and you feel not appreciated. We ignorantly give away the power of our emotional state to someone or something outside of us. When our emotional well-being is dependent on what others say about us, you know, we are at the mercy of things beyond our control. We are allowing our own santosha or contentment to be determined by what other people have to say. So this has made us so helpless. Whether we react to the opinion of others with outbursts of anger, or we withdraw inwards and suffer in silence and depression, or we continue to live in the memories of the past, of what someone said about us 10 years ago. We are always living in emotional disturbance. Whether we are remembering what someone did to us 10 years ago or maybe yesterday, the mind has this amazing capability to play and replay all those stories in our mind over and over and over again. And this moves us deeper and deeper into discontent. So this is such a wasteful use of energy. Our feeling of powerlessness guarantees that we will never experience contentment. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmaneva vatmana tushta sthit pragyas tadochate. Prajahati Yada kaman means when a person leaves all the desires. Atmanevatmana tushta means being in the self or self-contented. Sthit pragyas tadochate means one whose mind and wisdom is steady. So when one discards all the selfish desires and cravings of the senses that torment our mind and becomes satisfied in the realization of our own inner self, such a person is said to be steady in mind and wisdom. You know, this world has been called as Mrigya Trishna in our scriptures, meaning like the mirage which is seen by the deer. You know, when the sun rays they reflect on the hot desert sand, they create an illusion of water, and the deer thinks that there is water there, so it runs to quench its thirst. Its dull intellect doesn't recognize that it is running after an illusion. The unfortunate deer keeps chasing those illusory water, and after end dies because of exhaustion on the desert sand. Similarly, Maya creates an illusion of happiness, and we continue to run after that illusory happiness in the hope of quenching our thirst of our senses. But no matter how much we try, happiness always keeps eluding us. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Kam esh, Krodh esh, Rajogun samadbhava, Mahashano Mahapapma, Vidyanen mihi vairinam. Lord Krishna says, it is the desire or lust alone which is born out of Rajoguna or born out of our passion and then gets transformed into anger. You know, our lust or our desire is our biggest enemy in the world. There are fundamentally 5 kinds of desires: the desire to see, the desire to hear, to smell, to taste, and to touch. So all these desires, they originate from our sense orientation. And why is desire considered as the biggest enemy? It's because desire begets anger and it begets greed. So desire is the mother of anger and greed. Anger arises if the fulfillment of a desire is obstructed. And desire is such a disease that it can never be satisfied. The more we fulfill it, the more it gets inflamed. Bhagavatam says that the lure of sensual pleasures inflates our greed. Na jatu kamah kamanam upbhogen shamyati havisha krishna vartamev bhue ev abhivardate. That means fulfilling the desires of the senses does not extinguish them. When you offer ghee into the fire, it does not extinguish it, but it makes the fire blaze even stronger. And why do we desire? When we repeatedly contemplate that there is happiness in some object outside of us, our mind, naturally becomes attached to it. So thus attachment, it leads to desire, and from desire arises anger and greed, and from anger will arise subsequent enemies like illusion and envy. So the entire downward spiral leading to our ruin begins with seeking happiness in sense objects. We all want to be happy, but when we mistakenly start looking for happiness in material objects, we start entering into the trap of Maya. That is the downward spiral of anger, of greed, of jealousy and hatred. So the choice becomes very clear now. The first option is you can choose to let yourself enter the trapdoor of Maya through the desire for material things, hoping that they would give you happiness, but eventually they do not. Rather, one desire leads to another desire, and the chain is unending, eventually leading you into the spiral of anger and greed and hatred and illusion. And the second option is that you can choose contentment, which is the only way to save yourself from the trap of Maya and the trap of a lower vibration. Contentment can lead you to non-attachment, to self-control, to discrimination, and to an emotional balance. There is a great paradox to santosha or contentment. The more we seek it, the more it eludes us. It is easy to be content when we feel good and when our life is moving the way we want. But what happens when we feel depressed or sad, or when we see so much chaos around us? What happens then? We then feel discontentment. The opposite of contentment is discontentment. And do you know what the reason behind discontentment is? It's our mistaken belief that there can be something else better in this moment. It is our thought that the present moment should be as what we wish it to be. But what if you just accept each and every moment as it is, instead of wanting it to be as per your wish? What if we start accepting every person, every situation in life, and then with that sense of contentment, we start working to create a better version of ourselves? And with the strength of contentment, we will be able to build our capability like that of a very strong tree, so rooted in the earth that even the great winds of adversities cannot topple it. The paradox of not seeking contentment in outside things allows us to be grateful and appreciate what we already have. Swami Rama has mentioned that contentment means falling in love with your life. Santosha or contentment is performing the right duty and the right action with pure joy. It is the true understanding that the present moment is complete in itself, and there is nothing more that can exist than this very moment. When we are purely present in the moment, that moment is complete. When action is complete in the moment and the process is enjoyed for the pure joy of the process, action becomes being and being becomes contentment. If you wish to learn more secrets of life to live an extraordinary life, you can join my free workshop whose link is given below. And in my free workshop, I tell you the secrets to design your extraordinary life. And I am your brother guide to prosperity. And my mission is to help you realize the dreams of your life and help you achieve something worthwhile in life for which your family, your parents, and your children can be proud of.